this is Ast3rix, and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be covering the Persian scale of E flat. Yes, that's correct, and it is an exotic scale that is inspired by Middle Eastern music, and it is characterized by the liberal use of half steps, 4 of them, augmented seconds, 2 of them, and frequent use of chromatism. And we are going to be exploring some trap music with a little blend of dubstep in there. So let's get started. Okay, so I had to pre-build this one because of the amount of information in it. So I'm just going to kind of cover what I did. But first, before I do that, let's talk about the actual notes of this particular scale. So let me open up my little ready MIDI keyboard so I can show you the actual notes in the scale. And the notes are E flat, E, G, A flat, A, B, D, and E flat. So let me just do that again. So it's E flat, E, G, A flat, A, B, D, E flat. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, let me minimize this for a second because I'm going to show you the first primary melody that I created for this. And let me just kind of do it this way. I'm going to just kind of solo what I did. Okay, I have some technical issues today. So let me show you what I was doing with that. And again, with this particular series, I am staying within the scale. I'm not diverting off into something else like I normally would. So this is actually kind of challenging for me to do these because I'm having to stay within the same keys or the same scale. So these songs tend to be a little bit outside of what I'm used to doing. And I know it doesn't sound like it, but I make it work. But I tend to try to make them as simple as possible because I'm trying to work within the same scale. So that's what's happening. So with this melody, I was kind of doing this. This is what I was doing. Okay, so that's kind of what I was doing with that primary melody. Just kind of doing a rocking back and forth kind of thing, alternating keys. That's kind of what I was doing with that. Let me disable this for a second. And there is a secondary instrument in here that's doing that same melody. And I chose to do something a little different today with the instruments that I'm using. So I'm using the Ast3rix baklava. And this is one of those kind of music box kind of instruments. And I'm using a patch called Analog Falado. And it sounds like this. It's kind of a dreamy sound. But let me turn off some of the other things I've got going on. So this is the flat sound. Okay, so that's kind of weird, right? Okay, so I added an endless smile to give it more volume. And I'm using Output's brand new plugin called Portal 2. So I added a Portal to it. And it gave me like a glitchy sound. and I'm using a sound that's called particle reduction, and it's in the stretch and smear category. So it gives it like a little bit of a glitchy delay, but when you combine that with the primary note value, it makes it sound more fuller. Okay, so that's what I'm doing with that. Okay, now let's see. What else we got going on? So I don't have like a secondary melody in this song. No, I don't. I decided to just stay with the primary, and to fill up the song and not have it be a loopy all the way through. Here, let me just kind of show you what I did. Let me see here. Let me bring those back. So I added in my drop section a dubstep element, and it's doing this. And this, come on, get there. Okay, so with that, I'm using Serum for that, and it is a patch, and it's a childhood trauma patch. I think I've got this from either Black Octopus Sound or from Loop Masters. If you go look for that particular sound, they do provide Serum patches on Loop Masters, so you should be able to find that one if you're looking for it. But yeah, it's one of those crazy dubstep patches that's available, so it gives you that screechy bass sound. So the other thing I did was I did the primary melody with a different instrument, and I'm using a contact player for that, and I'm using the hybrid keys for that, and it gives me kind of a dreamy sound. It's using the sound called Bright Mallets, and let me just play that for you. Yeah, so what I did was I did a double note value of the same primary melody to give it a little bit more kind of a rhythmic element, but it's still doing the same melody as the primary melody. And let's see what other piano kind of things we got going on. Okay, so in the second drop, I decided to do a womp or a wonk, which is a loop. It is a dubstep element, and this is what it sounds like. Okay, so that's a loop, and you can find that loop on Loop Masters. It's just it's called a wonk. If you're looking for those types of sounds, they're called wonk. It's WONK. They're dubstep sounds. If you go looking for them, and you will find a lot of them. Again, they're used very frequently in dubstep, and it's kind of like a rhythmic kind of breakdown kind of sound, and that's what they're used for. So the other thing that I had to add, of course, was some vocal snips in here. And my very first vocal snip is kind of just it's just kind of a, let me just play it. Kind of shouts. Okay, so that's the very first vocal element. The second vocal element is a actual kind of rap sequence that I pulled from Loop Masters, and this is what that sounds like. Let me go here.
My voice sends chills, those good those in the session. No, my man is listening, they know you get my blessing. How good that bitch stick up that G, but she ain't know the word. She my face, my name put up and caught the word.
So you can find those kinds of things on Loopmasters pretty easily. Also on Splice, they're just vocal snips that you can paste together to make, whatever you want with them. I ended up like pasting a couple of them together to kind of make them sound like a complete structure. And that's kind of what I did with those. Let me see, what else do we do? We got a lot of rhythm section in here. So I've got a kick and a snare going, some hi-hats. Hold on, I'm gonna play that whole rhythm section for you at once. And then I've got a sub in here, and I'll just play that whole section. Let me go back here. Let's see. Okay, so that's kind of what we got going on with the rhythm section. Using some loops for those. Let's see, what else? Trying to keep it simple today so that the video is not like 20, like an hour long, breaking down all these sections. I've noticed that the shorter the videos are, the more that people will actually spend time watching them. When they're so long, you have to actually kind of set aside time to watch them. You want to provide the information that people need, and then, try to make it as fast as possible. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get a good even amount of time with the videos, but still show you what I did with this track. Okay, so with that, I believe that's actually all of the elements. I did add some sound effects, and those are in the beginning. And I've got like an impact sound that kind of crashes to start a new section. And that's kind of what I did with that. And that's pretty much it. So if you're liking these videos, please like if you do. If you don't, you don't have to. Also, if you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It helps to grow the channel. And I want to say thank you again to everyone who has subscribed and is watching. I appreciate your support, and that is all I have for today. So, out of here.
My voice sends chills, those to those in the session. Know my mind is listening and know you get my blessing. How could that bitch stick up that G, but she ain't know the word. She my face, my name put up and caught the word. It's like go on. That's why I low. FD the shot. Real eyes, real low. Do those real lies.